Donald Trump and a possible third term. One word response.
Bad.
Demolition of the east wing of the White House and new ballroom.
Bad.
And U.S. Immigration and Custom Info ICE intensifies operations.
Bad.
Alright, let's go to Trump and a possible third term. So he's not even denying it anymore. He's saying he's not joking, and he's hinting there's methods to doing it. So what are your thoughts?
So they're floating around different ways to get him a third term. The one that everyone has said that he's most likely going to do is to contest the Constitution, where the wording or the interpretation of the words specifically of of the actual Constitution and the framing of it. So
you're talking about the 22nd Amendment, right?
Yes, that's right. So basically, they're going to challenge it, and they're going to challenge the legal basis for it. The problem is that it opens up things like Obama becoming being nominated again, and Trump has to verse Obama or someone like very popular like Bill Clinton or someone for the third presidency. He can't give just for himself.
But this is not very likely, right? Because like legal scholars are saying there's no way this is going to...
The problem is that the SCOTUS has ruled in favor of Trump several times. Just because they rule against him several times doesn't mean that they won't rule with him several times. For some idiotic reason, in their mind, they're trying to be neutral, which means they have to give Donald some wins and they have to give Donald some losses, and that's called neutral. Even though a lot of Donald's wins are based on the shadow docket, they're based on a lot of really bad legal reasoning, especially the current challenge where they're trying to challenge the Voting Rights Act, where they're basically saying that the Voting Rights Act, which forces states to consider minorities and group them together into a city so that they can actually have representation, they say that's racist. And the Supreme Court has basically signaled that they agree with that. They think it's racist, which flies in the face of their originalist argument that they've always used to give him immunity. So essentially, they're having it both ways, and they are cutting any legal argument to give him a win when they need to give him a win.
But going back to the third term, like I think they found a poll over half of Americans think he would try it. What do you think like his base thinks of it? 'Cause
they love it. They love it. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. See, this is the party of law and order. They're not. So essentially, the base doesn't care about the law. They don't care about order. They just think that they need Trump in to keep the enemies of America out.
Which is brown people in this case,
essentially,
right?
Yeah.
Or anyone that's not as white as my shirt right now.
Well, that's the thing, that's how they see it, because they're being fueled by white nationalism, Christian nationalism, basically revisionism about America. They think that they go back to the whole America was founded as a Christian nation, and they just spew a lot of authoritarian talking points. So the other method that Trump wants to get into as a third term is a vice presidency. Yeah,
I heard about that, but that kind of would hurt his ego, I think. I'm not sure if he can handle that, or it would just be vice president on paper, right?
That's what people were speculating when he nominated Vance, because Vance was very out there as a pick. People didn't think that he was basically like maybe third guy running, third and the fifth, 5 guys. He was the third guy maybe, and
didn't have a recording of him shit talking Trump.
Yeah.
He's a never Trumper. He said, I think. Yeah.
So essentially, he's pretty pliable. He does this. He follows orders, and he would be the perfect president to be a dummy. Just like he's copying the same play as Putin with his when Putin became vice president, and then I can't remember the other guy became president. But essentially, Putin was the president.
Yeah.
It was just acting. They were just swapping around, and that's what Trump is trying to do with that strategy. The problem is that it also opens up being Obama being the vice president of the next nominee too, and doing the same thing. So it doesn't matter. It opens up the floodgates for more breakdown of the American Constitution. Something that they keep harping on about, that they're defending, but it's not. They're just trying to break every rule for themselves.
And even if he does get it, like how old would be, like pretty old, right? He was saying how old Biden was, and now he's way older than Biden.
Yeah, and you can.
Well, when he does run,
and just
if he runs,
and just recently he said that he did a very hard IQ test, which was his dementia test. So it's like.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
He
aced it, or he got perfect.
Yeah, and he didn't even know what the test was, and this is a pattern.
Like drawing a clock or something like that, right?
Yeah, and that's what they did to him back in his first term. He failed.
So he failed the first one of those ones.
Yeah, because they said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's like, it doesn't matter. And so he got his doctor to say he was perfect in every single way, and you can see his cognitive decline keep going on and on. And
He did an MRI scan as well. He said it was perfect. I don't know how you can get perfect for a
one of the reasons
brain scan.
For the cognitive decline is the actual job requires you to make decisions with very little sleep, right? You'll be awake at 3 o'clock in the morning making decisions for things halfway across the world, and they require your decisions like, should we drone strike this guy? That's how it is, and that takes a very huge mental toll on people in that position. You can see Biden had that. You can see over time that affected Biden, that affected Obama, that affected Bush. Their decision-making capabilities degraded over time because the expectations of the job were so high.
So you think it's a job or not, or are they just getting old? Every president happened, they're all getting older during that period.
They are getting, well, it's both, but it's a young man's job. The issue is that if Trump is incompetent in the first place, he generally doesn't listen to anyone. So they'll give him a brief. He doesn't actually read it. He actually demands that a slideshow, like a quick slideshow, which is half the information. He doesn't understand it. Then he makes a decision. That's literally how he operates. And you can't make good decisions based on that, especially when you're given very nuanced information. Like, you need a lot of thought.
Well, that's when you pass it off to expertise, right?
Yeah, but
that's what Obama used to do.
But he doesn't trust experts. He only trusts himself. He doesn't trust people giving him the correct information because he thinks he knows everything. That's why he's incompetent in the job, because he cannot understand the ramifications, especially when people tell him, if you're going to do this tariff, this is going to happen. He goes, no, that's not going to happen. Watch me. And he just does it. And that's what happens. You see it.
Going back to the third term where his base loves it, surely not all of them love it. Like, they know how it's always been, how it always will be. Is there some cognitive dissonance? Like, what's going on in their minds?
They've always had cognitive dissonance. That's the issue. The problem is that they thought that Trump will bail them out. Trump would protect them. The SNAP benefits, the removal of Medicare, Obamacare, farmers get aid.
So you're saying they actually believed it and they're not voting for Trump for a different reason?
No, they believe he would do it, but they also believe that Trump will bail them out. So he'll carve out exceptions for them.
Right.
That's what they knew, because that's how they operate. As long as they hurt the people they want to hurt, they don't care. But Trump isn't doing that. That's the issue. Trump is not carving out any exceptions for them with the SNAP benefits. He's not bailing out the farmers. In fact, he gave 40 billion to Milei in Argentina for his presidency, to bolster his presidency campaign. Those type of things, that's not America first. So he's done Israel first, Argentina first, and America first is down the line.
But why is he helping Argentina?
Because he thinks helping Argentina bolsters his chances of re-election. Like in his weird logic, just like he tried to protect Bolsonaro in Brazil, he protects Malay because they're all part of the same group. Same victimized, misunderstood autocrats who are trying to do right by the country, but they just get attacked no matter what by everyone. And there, in his weird logical mind, he's trying to protect his friends, and that's what he's doing. He's protecting. He sees Putin as his friend. That's why he's so soft on him. He barely pushes on him. He sees basically Kim Jong-un, the North Korean, as a friend. And then when he rejected him, Trump got pissy and it's like, no, I don't want to be your friend too.
Little rocket man, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's the most two-faced thing he can do, because at one point it buys loyalty as well. That's what he wants. And the 20 billion and 40 billion, he upped it up, goes back to America anyway, because technically a lot of Argentina's economy is run by a lot of money by America. So it's basically
okay.
Yeah, it's.
Well, moving on to the demolition of the East Wing. So it cost roughly, Trump said, 250 to 300 million, and it wouldn't cost taxpayers a single cent.
Yeah.
Apparently it's all privately funded. That doesn't sound very...
It doesn't sound right too, because one, he can't override the law. So the White House and the East Wing and all that stuff is actually covered by law, and it's under parks and stuff. It's under another government agency.
Is that why he's trying to getting sued for it, or like there's a lawsuit or something going on?
Basically, yeah, he'll get sued, but the fact is it doesn't matter because it's a shutdown. So the agency, which is the parks...
That's right, it's still a shutdown, like 20-something days now.
Exactly. So because the agency is shut down, they can't fight back. But he's overriding the law, essentially he's going ahead with the demolition without the approval. So that's the issue.
So he demolished it, and apparently doesn't have a plan to rebuild it. It's just... Why does he hate it so much? Or does he really want the ballroom? Or what's going on?
So when you can see this with dictators. They have private projects, vanity projects.
Is it corruption? Like, I give you a project to build?
Yeah, that's it.
That is it?
Yeah, that's it. You can see the White House is all gilded with the room is
all gold, right?
Yeah. Because he walks into Putin's Putin's palaces and he goes, oh, it's all gold, I like it. He does the same thing. He walks into the UAE, Dubai, Saudi, same thing.
Gold is such a old generation thing.
Yeah. And it's also a sign of a huge narcissist, because like you get like people like Saddam and Libya's what's his name, Gaddafi. They all do that. They all have gold AKs. They all try to push vanity projects, bullshit symbols of wealth and power. Same with Erdogan. His palace. He made a palace for himself. It's like huge vanity projects which are going towards his son's company, his son-in-law, his father-in-law. All this is going and just being funneled away from people as corruption.
So they said several companies, including Amazon, Apple and Google, are all funding this.
Yeah.
What's in it for them? They're donors. I mean, it's not that much to them, I suppose, but...
It's just cost of business, really. That's the cost of business to operate now in Trump's America.
It's not good timing. Now they're cutting funds to food aid and all these other things, and now you're spending $250 million on it.
It's not a good look, but that's what he wants. This is how dictators work. It's not about... As long as he doesn't suffer, it's fine. He already said that they're stupid for voting for him. And they still voted for him. He did. If you play it to MAGA, like, oh, they're stupid and they're idiots, they'll look, oh, that's taken out of context. He'll never say that. He loves us, blah, 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 blah. And they voted for him again. It's like, you can't stop the cult. He knows his base. He keeps giving emails and asking for donations for every single thing.
I tried to sign up for one of those to see what kind of mail I get, but I couldn't do it over here.
But
apparently people get spammed a lot, begging for donations, and people do.
And then you can give donations.
Families give so much.
And they also take it when they don't, like, if you sign up for one, they make it a recurring. So it's kind of
yeah.
like he's breaking the law, obviously, and he's also scamming people. But the thing is, his supporters love being scammed. They love being grifted. They love, as long as he says the right things, like I hate trans people or la 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 la. Like he switches and he's like a populist. He switches and goes because as long as whatever he can get whatever he wants, he'll do it. And yeah, it's just corruption basically.
Speaking of corruption, do you think there's what do you who wouldn't I know who's building the new ballroom? So then they know who's corrupt. Well, we will know, right? Surely there's connection, not just a random builder building it. $250 million of money, definitely going to them.
Yeah.
But no one's going to care as usual.
No, because he's not going to say it's corrupt. He says it's not corrupt. He's not going to get his DOJ to investigate. No one's going to put him to account because he's basically just gutted the government.
It's just like the whole crypto thing where he just pretty much very blatant now just
pumped and dumped.
Yeah, and taking much money from the American people and other people as well.
And he's told his DOJ to reimburse him for his for the court cases, the fees that he had to pay before when he got convicted.
And that money comes from
the taxpayer. And you can see all these conservatives are very, very silent about this.
So they are silent about it?
Yeah, they're very silent about it. The silence is deafening because essentially it just shows that they're only conservative when someone they don't like is being openly corrupt. When it's their man being openly corrupt, they just keep their mouth shut. And it just shows how for years it's true that their position has always been, untenable. Because they're just full of shit. They're always they only say shit about other people, but when it's time for them to do it, no, it's fine. We're gonna keep quiet. We're not gonna go out and stick our necks out. It's like, well, for someone who stuck their necks out when you had a president who was trying to take your freedom of speech, now
he did say that, wasn't it? He said
now these guys are not sticking their neck out for a president who's clearly protecting you. There's a bit of a double standard here. So, for people are going to remember this for a long time. That
one for the history books.
Yeah, you got a conservative law professor telling you this stuff like after Trump. You look at that law professor now and say, "Where were you? What did you say? Nothing. You did nothing." It's like
it's so hard though to say anything.
But the thing is, they were very vocal about it when they had no freedom of speech under the Democratic presidents or under Bush or whatever, all the people they hated. But when it comes to Trump, I don't want to touch it.
Can you imagine if Obama did any of this stuff, like asking for a third, or pretty much the AI pooping thing and ballroom and
they'll have all the conservatives will be up in arms and go blah 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 blah.
I mean, even a tan suit and
they screeched about tan suit, but they're not screeching about all this stuff because at the end of the day, they wanted this. They voted MAGA. Like they had the ability to not vote Trump. They still vote for Trump because it's party over country, and ideology over people.
I've been coming across a lot of videos. It's kind of heartbreaking to see the ICE agents just snatching people and
people said
hard
that
to watch. I can't even watch it anymore
because they don't. There's many cases where they are American citizens. Play ID. I'm an American citizen. They just beat you and they'll take you.
It's just you might be American, but you're still brown at the end of the day, and
then
they didn't wake up to that.
There's one case where they went back to the same guy. Like he got released. They got the same guy again, and he said, "No, he was obstructing us." And they all got their phones out. He was literally by himself, and they still got him. Why? Because it's revenge. For them, it's not. It's about the message. It's about sending a message that we have the power. We have the ability to be unaccountable, and that's why they love Trump. Because if they get rid of him, they can't do that anymore. The backlash is going to be severe.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Nazis and.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're literally the brown shirts just going around smashing Jewish shops and and they don't say anything because I got the power. I can do what I want.
And some of them are Trump supporters as well. Every now and then you hear about how they were MAGA. They loved Trump and they're now sent to Africa or
Yep.
other countries.
Yeah, and it just shows. See, this is the unfortunate truth is that a lot of Asian conservatives, Latino conservatives, black conservatives, they're racist too. They get on board with this stuff, this rhetoric, because it appeals to them. They always, this is the whole, it's not going to happen to me because I'm one of the good ones. Like, what's his name? Dinesh D'Souza? He literally has a tweet saying, I'm one of the good ones, right? So, and you get the follow tweets of saying, you're an Indian, get out of my country.
Is that Australian?
Dinesh D'Souza is like a full MAGA Indian.
Oh, okay.
He's an Indian.
I'm not familiar with the story.
But there's a tweet where he literally says, I'm one of the good ones. It's like, no, you're
there
not.
are no good ones if you're brown, basically.
Yeah, just your turn. You're just waiting for your turn because they're just cleaning house. They're just going through the people that want first, and then you're next.
Some of them they follow the parents to school and the kids. It's horrifying to watch.
And the legal route to become an American citizen, they wait in the courthouse.
Yeah.
The judge is expecting them to come in. They get them before they go in the courthouse. It's like, oh, okay. And they get them after the courthouse. Or they get them in the courthouse in front of the judge. It's like, what are you talking? What are you doing? I'm still doing something here.
Gone through the proper process, but they don't care at all.
Yeah. And the judge that they accused and they arrested, she's going to get a big, massive payout.
That was a while back. She got arrested,
Yeah, she got arrested for telling them to get out of a court.
The back door.
Yeah, because it was just like, she can't do her job because they're right in front of the guy trying to arrest him. So she just put him out the back door saying, you get out and you stay. And they just went, oh, well, I'm going to arrest you now because you got the guy out through the back door. Is like, no, that's my courtroom. So essentially, they're breaking every single norm, every single tradition in order to do what they want. So you can see the two-faced, as everyone said, the double standards that they've always had, because authoritarians can't handle people saying no their rules.
Apparently, Trump has arrested 100,000 people. ICE. That's a lot of people. And they're ramping it up in Democratic-led cities, in Chicago and New York and LA. Not looking good. There's nowhere safe anymore, I think, is there?
Well, that's the whole point. It's the whole strategy right now. This is why it's happening the first year. They're doing the frog in the pot strategy, where you put the frog in the pot and slowly turn up the heat, so that by the time year 4 turns around, no one can resist because it's already too late. There's already it's okay, and then by the time you reach
I don't think people think it's okay now. It's pretty bad already.
It's pretty bad, but you see that, like we said before, the conservatives are very quiet about it, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to make every single outrage less and less, so there's no outrage. So when it becomes when they do take over the government through a coup or through an overthrow or whatever, they're going to still get support for it.
It's like a what's the end goal here? Just make America white again? There's just no brown people left.
Yeah,
that doesn't work. Even economically or
Well, there's a debate I watched where there were two people arguing to end birthright citizenship against the 14th Amendment. One was a black scholar and one was a white scholar. The stuff they were saying basically was just didn't make sense. It was just yap. It was just like, they had the very worst arguments. They had very bad logic. And then the comment section was just like, support, we should end it. The problem is that you look at them, they're immigrants. They're the children of immigrants. They were born in America. So what they're arguing against is, from now on, no one should do it. But if you apply it retroactively, they should be deported as well, because when you were born in America, even your parents are, one guy was actually arguing, only one of your parents needs to be American for you to be American. But the thing is, that's a lot of people who will still get deported, even him. Because if you go through retroactively, the family, everyone was an immigrant. Nobody was given immigrant citizenship upon arrival in America. Not the Italians.
I find it very ironic that Melania is an immigrant, right?
Yeah.
And J.D. Vance is white. I'm not sure if she's American or what, but
but she's Indian. So
Yeah,
essentially,
yeah.
J.D. Vance's kids will be deported. Melania's kids will be deported. She will be deported. The thing that they know that they're not going to touch these people because they can't. They're only applying the rules to that select people. They're not applying it to anyone else, and that's what they're doing. They want to rule by law. Rule through law, not rule by law. So this is the same thing in China, same thing in Russia. They just use the rules to suppress and oppress you because the rule of law is nothing to them.
I believe some MAGA, they do believe they were getting the illegal aliens, the bad criminals out. And do you think they still believe it?
They still believe it.
They still believe that
but the thing
there's
is,
that many criminals despite seeing all these videos?
The thing is, though, you look at Obama,
Forms.
he was called the deportant-in-chief. He was deporting millions of people, right? No one cared. You know why? He was doing it through the legal method. He was getting people in front of a judge. They pleaded the case.
Due process.
Due process. Yep, judge said, yep, you're gone. No one cared. Why? Because he was doing the right thing. He was making sure the people that were getting deported were accused, of crimes and they were getting deported for real. Their method is basically you're brown, or you're white, you're right.
It basically is. You see it. They just go on the streets and look for brown people. They had to fill up some number of quotas, and ideally get the family so you get more quotas, right?
Yeah.
Find out where they work and schools, hospitals, immigration is the best. Like you just pick them off that way, right?
And the thing is, when you argue against that, the conservatives will screech about, "Oh, you don't like getting people deported." It's like, no, you want people. Like, even if you say, "Oh, I agree with deporting the illegals and the criminals and stuff," but the method that you're doing it is illegal. Oh, but that means you don't like it. It's like, okay, the analogy would be, we all like eating. We all like cooking, right? We all want to eat lunch, yeah? I agree, you agree, let's go eat lunch. If you turn around and say, I'm going to chop my dick off, and that's how I'm going to get my lunch, I look at you and go, that doesn't make sense, that's stupid, right? If you turn around and said, you don't want me to eat my lunch? It's like, no, I'm not saying you shouldn't eat lunch, I'm saying the method of you doing it is bad. It doesn't make sense. They'll look around and you go, oh, you're a traitor to the country, you don't want these people. You don't want lunch. It's like, that's bad logic.
I don't think they can see that far. Like, there are consequences when you remove all these people, right? Like, who's going to do the jobs? I remember seeing a video where they said, Americans want to buy Nike shoes, not make Nike shoes, Who's going to do all these jobs? Like,
well, they're not turning to the farms, that's for one. They're not going to
the
factories.
didn't a lot of companies that were in the farm, they struggle to find people to work.
Because they're not going there. They know the MAGA themselves are just, that they're even more, they're welfare queens. They have welfare. That's why they're not doing it. Because they have it better with the government subsidies and government handouts. They are the biggest welfare queens. And the only reason why...
Trump is cutting them, right?
Yeah, that's why they're angry
for the billionaires.
Yeah. That's why they're angry now. When people said that you should be angry, they said, oh, no, we want to protect our billionaires. Now the government shut down. They're getting bills and massive hikes. They're starting to get pain. Now they're coming around and saying, oh, no, Trump is bad.
Well,
I still support you, but why are you doing this?
Well, that's how I see it. Like, you hear all these stuff about the news, and it doesn't impact most Americans. Like, and then slowly they become impacted. Then they care. Like when you deport immigrants, they're like, I'm white. It's not gonna bother me for a while.
But then they get their wife. They get their wife. And it's like you have so many. There's so many tweets of like, I'm a big Trump supporter. We should get rid of them. And then they get their wife and their kids, and they're, oh, well, why are you getting my wife and kids? It's like, well, she is an illegal immigrant.
It's what you voted for, right?
Just because you married her doesn't mean she's not illegal. That's what you said.
We've been through this.
And then you say, oh, my wife, why are you targeting my wife? I thought you were going to target the bad ones.
Now, just slightly change the topic. Strategically, what would you do if you were American and you were brown? Like, do you just stay at home, order DoorDash, or and never leave the house, lock your gates? Like, it's a risk, right? It's real risk. I feel. I don't know.
I would.
I don't know what I would do, but
I would start wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah.
And then you gotta do what you gotta survive. Just wear a MAGA hat. Yeah, you're gonna get spit on, but people will be like, but people won't think twice. I'll wear a MAGA hat because you gotta do it.
That's a good point.
You just gotta.
Well, there are some Latinos that recently got ICE agent unmasked.
Oh yeah.
And like, maybe that's a safer option. Like, I don't know.
Look,
tough.
you know the irony is that they're wearing masks now, but then they were crying about wearing masks during COVID. So it's obviously that it's just that these people. If you're that dumb and you sided with these people, you're just as dumb. You're just as bad.
And it's not even his first term. This is
his second term.
Like, you know what he was like the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, the first time I can understand.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I was telling people, oh no, give him a chance. Maybe he would actually do good things because he's not
from
part of the
establishment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he did some good things. He actually went. He was serious about a few things. He actually did a bump stock ban actually, and they hated him for it.
Well, the best thing he did, I thought, was the COVID vaccine, which he kind of his supporters don't even like, which is ironic.
Yeah, but he did do some good things. But he generally isn't effective because he's also incompetent as well. Like, he can't understand hard, like very nuanced, very complex things. He always dumbs things down. And then he reacts.
He simplifies it for sure.
Yeah, and he makes really bad decisions based on that. But look, he does, in his first term, he was being led by Republicans who actually did, that weren't crazy. The problem is that he actually went after them too, like Bolton and Homer. Basically, he's just full of spite at this moment. He's just a very nasty person.
It's ironic that he won a Nobel Peace Prize so badly, and I feel like if he was to get one, it would definitely be for the vaccine. That was the best thing he did.
He blew his chances, obviously, because he's just a terrible person. He just cannot stand other people winning. He can't.
I mean, what does he want to win now? He's got everything, right? Almost.
He still thinks. A narcissist always thinks they're a victim. They're always a victim. No matter what, someone's against them, the world's against them. Like,
but is he actually diagnosed?
Well, it's pretty clear he's a narcissist. He's always been like that his whole life, especially when you barely work in any part of your life. Like most people, you might not like the person you work with, but you still put up with it because you want to work in an environment where it's not hostile, and you're just lifting heavy things. Oh, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. They can lift heavy things too. You need each other. Trump has not lived in that environment. He does not understand blue collar work. He does not understand working with people you don't like. Or
he just sues them and gets what he wants, right? He just files a lawsuit.
And that builds up his personality over time. Like, in most people's heads, the evidence is for, why I should be nice to people. No, I don't have anything. Everyone's my enemy. He calls upon those experiences to justify his behavior. He was, I don't know if he was born one, but he's just basically developed into one massive narcissist. And, Americans look at him and go, that's why I won. I like this guy.
He speaks his mind.
He's always a victim because I'm a victim too. It's like, how are you a victim? Every single conservative is always like, I'm a victim of something. In your mansion, what are you a victim of? Someone's trying to sue you. Why? Why someone sue you? Because you stiffed them. Okay. Why are you a victim then? Because my family's getting impacted. I've got debt out my wazoo. It's like, maybe you should have spent all the money trying to hire lawyers and stuff. It's like, it's one thing to have that position, but it's one thing to use that position the whole life. That's what the difference between a narcissist and someone who's a bit aggrieved. It's, for most people, we get it. We've been wrong. You just move past the point and just try to resolve a lot of these issues. For people like Trump, they look at these things and they just keep it for life.
Revenge.
And revenge. It's always about revenge. It's like, he's been sued. If you look up he's been gone through so many lawsuits. He's done this and done that. He doesn't want to actively go, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong.
If it just smells like shit everywhere he goes, he doesn't check his shoes. He just thinks it's everyone else.
Exactly, and that's what a narcissist does. The opposite of people like Trump is you get people like Hassan. Like Hassan, like, it's very clear to most people he's also a narcissist too, but on a different ideology, on the other side, on the left. And he's just like, I don't shock my dog. I don't do all these things. So it's like, it's in life, ideology rarely matters. Like it's your actions and how you use power and how you see the world matters more. Like your behavior, who you are as a person, and ideology doesn't make a lick of sense. Like you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is a movie star. Like you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger and you got Trump. Very similar. Like they both are. Well, Arnie was self-made, but true Arnold Schwarzenegger's business acumen, right? He was actually a business person. He pulled himself up as an immigrant, came in, bought his own business, went up, right? He married. He made a few movies. He married the one of the Kennedys. He cheated on her after having kids or something. But even
with the housekeeper, right?
Yeah, the housekeeper. Yeah, but even as a Republican governor, he looked at some of the things that they wanted him to do, and he said, "No, that's un-American. That's not fair, right?" He still didn't he didn't put ideology above everything else. So people don't look at Arnold Schwarzenegger as the most horrible person on earth. He's just trying to do something in a certain way. That's fine. If you not everything in politics can be solved a certain way. Sometimes you have to try something different. The issue is that the person that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the difference between him and someone like Trump or other Republicans who bent the knee. He's come up and said, "Look, I don't believe in bending the knee to Trump. It's illegal. It's not all that." He's coming against the Proposition 50 or whatever to gerrymander, which is he's correct. It's not right to gerrymander, but you got to respect his position.
Fire with fire.
Exactly,
though,
but
right?
you got to respect his position because he's trying to make a principled position. And most people in a normal year would be like, "No, that's wrong." Given the context, most people would be like, "Yeah, okay, all right, it's not a bad thing."
It's like punching someone's wrong, but if they're trying to kill you, you should do something, right?
Yeah, but I don't go around saying Arnold Schwarzenegger is like a terrible, evil person for going up against that bill. I'm like, I understand his position. I understand it's wrong. Wrong is wrong. Two wrongs don't make it right. Yeah, I get it.
You see where it's coming from.
Yeah,
at the very
of course.
least.
Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna go out and attack Arnold Schwarzenegger. He murdered a cat he kicked a cat in the alleyway. It's like it's like
loves cats.
Yeah, but you don't need to go that far because he didn't do it. Like, would Arnold Schwarzenegger do it? Very unlikely. Kicking a cat to death behind the alleyway, no. But looking at a narcissist like that, you don't know because he could do anything. Like, okay, if you said Trump kicked a cat in the alleyway, you probably go, probably, yeah.
He literally is doing anything. I mean, every day there's a new story, and it's just you can't even keep up. It's just one covering up another.
Yeah.
You want to focus on this one and something new.
And the problem is that he hires his loyalists who are like him, who are just as bad, just as narcissists. And even if they stand up and saying, all right, like the lawyer that they recently fired in the DOJ, he's saying, we don't think we have enough evidence to convict Letitia James of this charge. They fired him. Yeah. He was a Trump loyalist.
Yeah.
In his first term, they fired him still.
Not loyal enough.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you can't. It's not about your job. It's about being loyal. It's about doing what I want. So it's essentially, you can see, this is classic authoritarian behavior.
It is. You're surrounding like yes people. Like Pam Bondi.
Yeah, and you can't. And even if the evidence shows that it's clear that yes, you are in the Epstein files, they go and say, oh, he's on the Epstein files, or they start attacking and defending because they're spineless people. This is how dictators get made. Because you can't be a dictator by yourself. You have to have these people in place to support you. Because they keep the other people out. They fight the battles for you. They keep the territory, In return, they want something. So you have to give it to them. So you loot the treasury, you loot everything and give them the benefits. You give them power, you give them money, you give them benefits so you can stay on top. That's how it works.
Yeah. All right, I think we should wrap it up here. Any final words to the people? You got 30 seconds.
Right now, there's the election of Mandani in New York as mayor is showing that there is an appetite for a counter reaction. to Trump. How much of a counter reaction we'll see, but we're starting to see it now. That's what's scaring MAGA right now. So that's why they're accelerating their plans forward, and that's my closing statement.
Okay, we're done.